Breaking news: tension in Vìĺλλà as Nigerians sit on power in Abuja. According to findings by Sahara reporters, trouble started on Monday when Yusuf returned from a private trip to Lagos, where he had journeyed to alongside 5 women from Daura, Kaduna, Kano, and Abuja to spend the weekend. There is currently tension in Vìĺλλà. Nigerians sit on power in Abuja, the country's capital, as a fresh power tissues between President Muhammadu Buhari's personal assistant and private secretary Shaibu Tunde Yusuf and President Muhammadu Buhari's wife, the First Lady, gathered dust. According to findings by Sahara reporters, trouble started on Monday when Yusuf returned from a private trip to Lagos, where he had journeyed to alongside 5 women from Daura, Kano, Abuja to spend the weekend. Upon his return to the villa, he was asked by President Muhammadu Buhari's aide de camp, Muhammad Lawal Abubakar, Chief Personal Secretary Abdul Karim Daura, to self-isolate in order to protect the president and the entire state house, since he had earlier met with recent contacts of late former group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Makanti Baru, who passed away recently from coronavirus-related complications. Shaibu Tunde Yusuf, President Muhammadu Buhari and Aisha rather heard the advice of the men by embarking on a 14-day self-isolation. Yusuf, one of the most powerful and influential individuals around President Muhammadu Buhari, flatly refused and pushed his way into the villa, worried that his presence could expose them to danger. The first family intervened in the matter on Thursday, but rather than a solution being arrived at, things quickly spiraled out of control after the security attached to the First Lady Aisha Buhari moved in and had Yusuf removed from the presidential villa. Feeling slighted by that incident, the young man, said to be in his early 30s, connived with President Buhari's chief security officer, Idris Kazim, to have the Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Bala Siroma, arrest the First Lady's ADC, Usman Shugaba, escort commander, and other policemen attached to the first family. Sahara reporter reliably gathered that all the arrested secretary attached to the First Lady are still in police cell on the orders of the CSO to the president and Yusuf. A source in the villa who confirmed the development of Sahara reporters said that since the death of the late Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Abba Kyari, Yusuf had almost become the de facto head of state, calling the shots in Vìĺλλà. The ADC and escort commander of the First Lady were unlawfully detained by the FCT Commissioner of Police under the instructions of the Chief Security Officer to the President, Mr. Idris Kazim and Yusuf. Yusuf, in flagrant disregard of the Quarantine Act signed by President Muhammadu Buhari, which prohibited interstate travels, and in clear violation of the NCDC protocols and guidelines, traveled to Lagos and had seen visitors of more than 15 people every day against the advice of people he is working with. After his refusal to heed the call by the president's security men, on Thursday evening, the first family got involved and insisted that he goes on self-isolation, and again for the second time he refused. The first family recalled to him when one of the daughters of the president returned from school in London and had to undergo 14 days isolation. They said if she could do this, why couldn't he do the same? When the situation was getting out of hands, the security attached to the First Lady had to intervene peacefully. Yusuf left the State House only for him and the President's CSO to give directives to the FCT police commander and commissioner to arrest the First Lady's ADC, escort commander, and other policemen attached to the first family. The protocol of the First Lady are still in police detention. Regarded as one of the wealthiest young men in Nigeria today, Yusuf, until his appointment by President Muhammadu Buhari, was said to be surviving on proceeds made from the sale of calls card in his native Daura, a small community in Katsina State in the northern part of the country. He is said to have gotten the name Tunde after being linked and liked to late Tunde Idiagbon, President Muhammadu Buhari's second in command during his military regime in the early 1980s, who was known to be powerful and strategic. During President Muhammadu Buhari's 77th birthday in December 2019, Yusuf is said to have won a Patek Philippe leather wristwatch valued at $999.95, about 36 million naira. Presidency sources said that the young man has amassed so much wealth in a short space of time that he was almost afford anything money can buy. These days, despite not from a wealthy background or having any known work history apart from serving in President Muhammadu Buhari's government. Despite his glaring excesses and abuse to lay down procedures, President Muhammadu Buhari has refrained from calling Yusuf to order it was gathered. Interestingly, it is not the first time that individuals in the presidency would be flexing muscles against the First Lady and her family. In December 2019, for instance, Mrs. Buhari accused senior special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, as well as Maman Dahura, a nephew and close ally of her husband, of working against the first family. Based on Garba Shehu's misguided sense of loyalty and inabilities to stay true and loyal to one person or group, it has become apparent that all trust has broken down between him and my family due to the many embarrassments he has caused the presidency and the first family. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. Wow. We have said it all. He has said it all. My question is, why will the personal assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari orders for the detention of Aisha's ADC? Why? Why this? Is it that this is because the ADC to Aisha refused to go by the guidelines concerning COVID-19 pandemic at Vìĺĺà or not? According to what they said, this writer said, he said that this so-called ADC to Aisha Buhari returned from a private trip to Lagos where he had journeyed to, alongside with 5 women from Daura, Kano, and Abuja to spend the weekend. So he needs to be isolated. I'm very much sure that because he refused to isolate himself, this is why he's been arrested. Why can't he be isolated? Why can't he be quarantined? He must be quarantined because he has met with a lot of people that might have this COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of him isolating himself in order for the families not to suffer from this COVID-19 pandemic. This suggestion is made because they want his family to be saved. It's for his own good. But if he refuses to be quarantined or refuses to be isolated, then it's left for him. Him and his family will definitely suffer for this COVID-19 pandemic. This is why the President Muhammadu Buhari's personal assistant orders for his detention of Aisha ADC, since he has refused to isolate himself. So viewers, with what you have heard, your comments is very much needed. What would you have to say concerning this news? Drop them below the comment box. Click on the subscription button as well as the bell button to receive updates whenever I publish new videos. And don't forget, share and like this news as well. Thank you.